Pedro from A&P-REACTS. I'm here today with Thomas and Joni from MyGrain. How are things going with you guys? Good?
It's good here. Good. Yeah, Friday and all, and yeah, enough of the work week. Let's
yeah, I know. Everybody's getting ready for the weekend.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So you guys have a new album. Wow, you guys are really ready for the weekend.
Indeed.
So you guys have a new album coming out October 2nd on Reaper Entertainment called 5. Before we get into the album, let me ask you this. 7 years since the last record. Why so long?
Well, yeah, it was a rather long break. Yeah, it was some after the last album that we did to Spine Farm. We did some touring and stuff, but then it was our last album of the deal. So after that, we had to kind of like get some other deal from somewhere, and it was like the times were getting harder, and it was really hard to get a new deal. And for us, it felt like we were thinking like maybe we should do it for ourselves or something and just publish it ourselves. But in that time, it wasn't like that. We didn't feel like that would have been the thing, and it was. I guess it was just like this domino effect. Like there was many external reasons that affected to the decision to call it quits, or at least to go on a hiatus for an X period of time. So well, yeah, a few years went, and then like 2 years ago, we had a grill party at Joni's place here, and it actually happened. It was a joke that sparked it, basically. But we had already like composed like, should we do something or should we not? Maybe it would be cool to do something again after a long while. And then we had this joke in this party, and actually then we couldn't cancel it or undo it anymore. We had to do it. So yeah.
And now you're here.
Now we're here. Yeah.
So was there some rust going into this record from you guys, considering the long delay?
Rust?
Yeah. Was there some rust from you guys in terms of getting all the right things ironed out for the album, considering 7 years is a long time to working together?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know. I think it all came pretty naturally for us. We had some old jam sessions we used to record back in the few years, and basically we just listened to old jams and riffs from here and there, and that basically built up from there the new songs. And of course we make some songs from scratch, and yeah, I don't know if there was really any rust per se.
Yeah. I guess it was like from the point when we get it started again, then it wasn't that big of a
issue.
Yeah, once you guys got the ball rolling, everything else fell in place, right?
Yeah. It was pretty much that way. Yeah.
It was more getting the ball rolling that was the problem.
Yeah. That was the thing.
But there was one problem, and it was Eve who decided that she's not willing to continue with us and do the new album. So that was big, maybe little issue.
It was kind of like a setback in a way, like because we were planning on doing continuing us and going forward, and then we had this setback, so we had to take a pause and think that what should we do, and then we were thinking about every option there could be, but well, we decided to do it just on our own and try to do the keyboards with the Mr. Artificial Intelligence instead of some blind human person this time. And forever there's always a door open, like she wants to come back, so it's like there's no one to like get thrown or something.
What made for you guys? What made Reaper Entertainment the right partnership, if you will?
Well, actually, they contacted us last
It was
summer,
yeah,
2019
summer when we were at Lumi Rock Metal Festival. So yeah, we had some other offerings as well, but for some reason this just felt right from the start. It felt like the right one. Well, yeah, and this far it is just all of it has just felt so seamless and easy in a way, and it's just like direct conversation, like so it's it's easy to talk to them, and we have good convo.
They also listen to us.
Yeah,
It's like, you do this.
Yeah. It's relaxed and quite flexible, you know. Yeah.
Nice guys.
Yeah, they're really nice guys, and they have a lot of great bands on their label. So it's nice to see that you guys have joined the family, if you will.
Yeah.
Let's get into the record, because I really want to talk to you. Obviously, I've heard the album, and I really want to talk to you guys about this record, because there's a lot of things to digest with this album. At least for me as a listener, there was a lot of things to digest. Let's talk about the structure of the album first. I felt that the structure of the album was very cohesive. There was not a lot of variation as you go down the record from beginning to the end. Was that a conscious effort? You guys wanted to create an album that had the best songs possible, but at the same time felt like a record, not necessarily just a collection of tracks that you guys have been working on for the past 7 years?
I guess you can say so.
I don't know. I think we didn't have so clear vision what the songs would be like. I think it was basically that we just tried to make as good songs as we could and can. And I don't really know. We are so bad about trying to plan records really.
Like have the blueprint of the album in advance already, and we just do the songs, and well, I guess this fits this one, and it fits the whole maybe, and I guess it's like that way. But
of course we try different song parts for different song, try to make the song work as good as we can. And it's every song to sound like it's good. It's good. Whole.
as one, it feels as one.
Well, I guess it's sort of like well, even if I'm not usually part of the doing the song from the scratch, like composing the song, just adding my own vocals into it. But to me, it shows like it's most of the time it's like this collective spur of the moment or something. So we come up with some idea, and we just enhance the idea, and it becomes a song, and then we think, oh, does it fit the whole the entirety?
Yeah,
I don't know what's the proper word for that actually. Like, so it's
I think it's fine. Not that kind of whole, but the whole album. It sounds the same, but it's spelled differently.
Yeah. The subtle difference.
If you know what I mean.
I think you guys, your weekend started a little bit too early already. The drinking.
We just started.
10 past 8.
It's been a long week.
Moving from the structure to the sound, to me, the structure perhaps is the thing that I found that was the closest to the old records. And then the sound was the thing that I felt that was the little bit more of a departure from the old records. I felt that the sound on this album was very keyboard driven. There was a lot of keyboard melodies throughout the record. How do you see that impacting the overall sound of the album?
Yeah, I think that was pretty conscious thing for us, that we wanted the keyboards be really really dominant. I don't know, basically because Eve was really big part of the band, and I think that was maybe unconscious thing even, that the keyboards are so dominant on the album. And now I have listened the old MyGrain records, and I think the guitars are a little bit louder on the earlier records. So I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. Maybe it's just a mixing.
Yeah.
Just a mixing thing.
I mean, do you feel that what I took from the record was that the keyboards have, I agree with you 100%. I felt the keyboards on this album were driving the sound forward, and the previous records, there was a lot more of the guitars pushing that sound forward. So there's a change. But do you feel that perhaps so much keyboard and having so much dominance of the keyboards across the sound, it will take a little bit away from the heaviness of the guitars and everything else? Is that a concern, or you guys this is the sound that you guys want for the band now?
Yeah, I think it's what we wanted for this time around, as we were mixing it with Juho Räihä. And the bass is also pretty dominant on this album. I think it's like
it's a
drums and bass. It makes like it's almost like a old school rock and roll thing for me. You know, where there's this bass is pounding and drums are pounding. But yeah, there is sometimes I think that there's cool guitar stuff that I think that they are a little bit hidden maybe.
Yeah.
Which I think that now as I listen it, I think that
could be a little bit more on the top.
Yeah, guitars maybe would be a little bit.
Yeah, but it's always like this that you're thinking this like what if maybe they should have been on top and this.
Yeah, I have a solution for you guys for this problem. One is next time you guys are ready to release an album, you send me a copy first, and I'll tell you exactly what to do. That's solution number one. Solution number two is when you guys are playing live, you can make the guitars as loud as you want.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, it solves all the problems. So there you go. I just fixed both problems for you.
Yeah, and also now we don't have a keyboard player who is whining that he or she isn't
wants to be louder.
See, exactly. I just fixed all your problems. I want to move to the vocals. I want to ask you, Thomas, about the vocals. I felt that your vocals were absolutely spot on this record. Very dynamic, very fluid. You gave a lot of life to the record, and I actually felt that a lot of the heaviness that the album has comes from you, because you have this predominant keyboard sound that's super melodic, that sometimes and I wouldn't say on every song, but in most of the songs, it almost drowns out the guitars. But your vocals, the heaviness of your vocals is really pushing that intensity, that aggression to the forefront. Did you have any difficulties throughout this record, considering it's been 7 years since the last album? Did you want to try things differently this time around? Did you felt that there was a lot of weight on your shoulders because of you were one of the main the main proponents of the heaviness that the album has?
Yeah. Well, of course, there is this certain pressure that, especially after like 7 years of hiatus in the recording, so it gave me some pressure on my shoulders, and it was so fucking super hectic times and terrible times at work at the same time. So it was just fucking pure hell. But I feel like every time I entered to the studio and we had this session with Mr. Räihä, it was a really relaxed like afterwards, like in the end. So there wasn't any like actual hardships regarding doing the vocals. There was just something like I remember just the first song we nailed. It was the third song of the album called Summon Duality. It was the first one I nailed, and I remember after, because I hadn't growled for fucking I don't know a few years or something, so it was. I felt like I did it with the old muscle memory or something. Yeah, like this. And then like a few hours later, I was like, I can't even talk anymore. and still nonetheless, we did the next day, and but we did only clean singing, and we didn't do any growls. And when I went back home, I was like, fuck, I can't speak. And I had a terrible throat ache for a couple of days afterwards. But I don't know, maybe it was because I gave my all in, and I had the hiatus in the screaming part, and well, I didn't. It's like old man trying to do some gymnastics, like a young dude or something. You just don't quit. You just I can fucking do it. Yeah. And well, when you had the hiatus, of course, you're not your throat isn't like molded to it, so to say, or warmed up to it, even if you try to warm up, but because you haven't done it for so long. So it took like the first couple of sessions to kind of like adapt to it.
Yeah, you're like 45, but your brain thinks you're like 21.
Yeah, that's the case. Yeah, and that's like when the crisis starts or something. I don't know.
I have to ask you guys both about some of my favorite songs on the record, and I want to ask you about your favorite songs. But two of the tracks that I absolutely fell in love with, the first one was The Way of the Flesh. Like, that song is really good. I'm actually surprised that you guys didn't release it as one of the singles, because it's, yeah, I felt that it's perhaps on this record, and you guys could disagree with me, that's fine, but I feel like perhaps is the more throwback song to the old records is this one, The Way of the Flesh. The one that you hear a little bit more guitars, they have a little bit more heaviness. It's the more balanced, and it has more of that old school MyGrain sound in it when you look at the overall picture. What are your thoughts are on that song, The Way of the Flesh?
To me, at least, it was like it's a bit different song, and well, yeah, I guess it's the working title of it was like thrash metal, basically thrash metal. So thrash metal 666 or something. So and that was like this straightforward and punch in the face kind of song, and to me, it felt like really fucking good song. It was actually the last. It was maybe amongst the first ones that was initiated at some point, but it was the last ones to kind of like to finish before the album recording. So in that sense, it was kind of like a new song to me, at least. And immediately when I heard the song, the instrumental of it, I felt like, yeah, this should be like straightforward, just screaming stuff. Maybe just a little melody, but not much. Just the basic stuff, basically. And,
pure old man stuff.
Pure old man stuff with the walking sticks. Yeah, screaming. Get the fuck out of my way. Yeah.
Like, but it's definitely a kick-ass song. It has a lot of power from top to bottom. Like, you guys never slow down on that song at all.
Yeah, and actually, it's a funny fact that it was amongst the songs that were in the danger to get dropped from the album, to be like some bonus track or something to something later on or something. But I'm happy that we actually kept it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm happy you guys kept it.
Yeah, because it brings so much dynamics to the album. So
it's a song that breaks the record, because there's no other song on the album that sounds like that track. It's very different from everything else. It's different from what comes before, and it's different from what comes after. So it kind of resets, it makes the album feel like it has ebbs and flows. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm really happy you guys kept that song. And the other track I want to ask you guys about is Game of Gods. That's like, sorry?
It's another different kind of song, at least to me.
I really like the clean vocals on that track, and that's what hooked me to that song, was the clean vocals. I thought they were absolutely beautiful. They were haunting. They had a very nice atmosphere to them. And the moment I heard those clean vocals on Game of Gods, I was like, okay, I'm sold. This is one of the best tracks on the record.
Actually, that was the other song. It was between The Way of the Flesh and Game of Gods
that were about to be dropped from the album.
we were discussing which one, but in the end we just decided that
let's just keep them all. Yeah.
But see, I don't know if you're noticing here, those two songs, when you look at the whole record, are perhaps the two that are the most different of everything else.
Yeah, I think so too, actually. And funny fact is that regarding vocals of the song, it was amongst the hardest ones to nail for some strange reason. I don't know why, but it was maybe because we thought in advance already that, well, this is going to be the bonus track, and let's do it in the bonus spirit in a way also, that it's not for sure it's coming to the album. So I went to the I just kind of like dove into the song like, well, let's see what it becomes, and let's see what happens. But it was really hard to get the initial touch to the song in a way, even if I had the idea in my head, but I couldn't just adapt to myself to it like in the real situation. But it took really many takes in the start to get like into the atmosphere or into the mood of the song. But when it started, it was like it just kept rolling smoothly to the end. Basically, it's a nice song, and it's quite very varied, variable.
Oh yeah, it changes a lot. It's very dynamic,
Yeah.
and that's one of the reasons I really like it. And like I said, these are the two favorite songs of mine because they're really different from everything else. They kind of, when you listen to the album, these two songs pop up because they're so different. So you immediately recognize them because it's like, wow, they don't sound like anything else. Very unique.
That's really fun to hear.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys have favorite songs on this record?
That's really a tough question. I like Haunted Hearts really much. This first single video we did. I think it's
The favorite one.
yeah, it's on the top one. I think
On the list of 1 to 1, it's number 1.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was actually we had all the songs written and demoed, and then our co-producer Joni had told us that what if you guys could make some kind of MyGrain ballad song.
So to say.
We just decided that let's give it a try.
Yeah.
And that was Haunted Hearts that came from that success story.
It was like the last song we actually composed to the album. So
that's
just a little bit different as well. I don't know. For me, it's really hard to say what's the favorite song. It's like
it is hard, but
it is always hard. I mean, I don't know if I would have to pick something like just at this perfect moment. I would say maybe the first song, the Nightmare. It's maybe the most like classic melodic death metal, like At the Gates, kind of like the haunted-ish song, so to say.
Well, fair enough. I mean, I'm glad at least that you guys picked something. I know it's tough. I mean, whenever you ask somebody that's been working on a record for a long time, what's your favorite song? It's like when you have multiple kids and you ask which one is your favorite. I mean, you always have one, but it's kind of hard to say which one it is.
All our babies.
Exactly. It's really tough. And now, once again, the album comes out October 2nd on Reaper Entertainment, your 5th record. And the question now is, what is going to happen? And this is my last question for you guys. What is the future of the band now? You're not going to make us wait another 7 years until the next record, right?
No, I guess that's not the case. At least we're not hoping for it. So, well, the plan is, of course, to have 2 albums at least with Reaper Entertainment. And
but when we are gonna compose new songs, that I don't know. If it's earliest next year, I would say
maybe.
But hopefully we have some live shows coming up. That's only a hope.
At this time of at these times. Well, at least we could say that now at this moment we have time to do some songs because we're not going to the live gigs, and it's not like we're on touring.
Unfortunately,
making the songs.
Yeah, unfortunately, this time around, like you guys are releasing an album at a time where there's not going to be a lot of opportunities to tour and play shows. So definitely there's going to be extra time for you guys to work on the next record. But until then, let's not get ahead of ourselves. You have to enjoy this release first on October 2nd and get the music out to the fans. And hopefully you guys will have at least a chance to play some shows in Finland, some release shows and stuff like that, at least for the fans to listen to the new material.
We have a release party show. It is 2nd of October.
Actually
the release date.
The release date. It's quite a funny thing that we never went to play in it's our northernmost part that we've played ever in Finland, called Rovaniemi. And that's going to be the release show, the actual release date. The next one is going to be on the 3rd of October, Saturday. It's going to be in Oulu. And after that is not until like 7th of November that we play in Helsinki. So it's going to be the Helsinki album release gig in a way. But
Let's hope it happens.
yeah, let's hope, of course. Yeah, because it's not for sure that any of this happen, but yeah, at least there are plans.
Yeah, at least you have to stay positive and stick with the plans. I think I really hope it goes through for you guys, because it's hard to release an album and not be able to play it in front of fans and an audience. So I really feel for you guys. I hope everything goes well, and I want to thank you guys for taking the time today to talk to me about the new record, 5. By the way, you guys were very creative on the title of the record, 5th album, and you call it 5.
Yeah. It's really creative, isn't it?
Yeah, that was super creative. I was like, man, I'm sure these guys were sitting around a table, you know, drinking salmiakki for like hours, thinking about what's the best title for this album? 5. All right.
Yeah. Oh, 5. Yeah. 5.
Actually.
You know, you guys are not the only ones. I mean, Morse Prince of a Mess is releasing their 7th album. They call it 7. So I mean, like,
yeah.
Wow.
so you guys are not alone. I mean, this must be a finished thing. I'm starting to think this is a finished thing.
Yeah. We're not alone in it.
You guys are creative, but use all your creativity towards the music, not the title of the record.
Yeah.
We ain't interested in that.
Actually, the funny thing was that I just heard it. Oh, it's gonna be V. Okay, well, it's okay to me. So, but yeah,
At the end of the day, it works perfectly fine.
Yeah. It's sort of like a
Simple is beautiful.
Yeah. Simple. It's monumental and beautiful. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you very much for your time today. I really appreciate it. Best of luck with the release on October 2nd on Reaper Entertainment, and best of luck with those shows that you guys have scheduled for the month of October and then November in Helsinki.
Thanks. This was our pleasure.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cheers.
thank you for taking the time. Stay safe,
Thank
guys.
you. You
Keep
too.
safe. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye.